everyone, Carl with Littleroot Lessons, bringing you a deep dive into the world of Pokemon featuring Venu-koal, also known as Venusaur and Torkoal, or Sun, or however you want to define the weather duo. This is probably one of my more favorite pairings. I'm a big fan of weather strategies and things like that, and Venu-koal was one of my early pickups in Series 3 when I was playing, and after playing Collinsville, we started playing with Venusaur and Incineroar and Pokemon like that. So Venu-koal was one of my favorite things to play with at the time. If you like what you see, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. Comment down below what other Series 9 potential things you want to see me talk about. I have beat up strategies set up for Friday, so if you can think of any other combinations or specific Pokemon, comment down below and I will cover them next week. So Venu-koal, Venusaur Torkoal, Sun, what does it do? It's just a very powerful two-mon combo. Venusaur has access to Chlorophyll, which doubles its speed in the sun, and Torkoal sets the sun via drought. So they support each other very well. Venusaur beats up Torkoal's water weaknesses and ground weaknesses. Torkoal is just a sun setter for the most part. Outside of that, it can cause a ton of problems normally via Sleep Powder or fast G-Max Vine Lash, Earth Power, Weather Ball, Sludge Bomb, things like that. Torkoal, vice versa, from the Venusaur is very slow, so there's also this whole Trick Room aspect the team can bring, and it hits very hard on the special side with Eruption in the Sun, or Heat Wave, or Earth Power. Can also use Body Press, Yawn. We'll cover all the sets here in a couple minutes. But the Sun duo is very, very powerful. I think one of the big things that has put Venusaur over Charizard when it comes to just Sun abusers is the fact that it got G-Max Vine Lash. It doesn't share a weakness with Torkoal, unlike Charizard, and getting access to G-Max Vine Lash was a huge upgrade for Venusaur. So the history of Venu-koal in general all started back in Series 3. We didn't have access to Venusaur officially until then, and then once that happened, it just took off. Sun has been around ever since. You haven't seen it except for in 2 series, which you still see it in Series 8, more notably as Venudon with Charizard, because then you're not doubling up on water weaknesses and rock weaknesses and things like that. But Series 6, when I believe they ended up they banned Venusaur, if I remember correctly. So Sun kind of just went away for a little while. And Torkoal was actually already around at the start of before Series 3, but there were no good Sun abusers outside of Charizard, and your team felt kind of weak to rock types and water types and things like that, so it wasn't as prominent as Sun is now. And Torkoal still saw play in Series 8, usually on the Zacian versions of Sun, but it definitely saw a lot less play than when both are legal at the same time, without Groudon being in the format. Common partners for Venu-koal are usually anything that can benefit from Sun, Trick Room, or shore up any of their weaknesses, specifically Venusaur. Venusaur has a lot of problems because Torkoal doesn't help its weaknesses really at all. Pokemon like Porygon 2, Glastrier, Grimmsnarl, Landorus, Umbreon, Charizard, Mimikyu, a bunch of Pokemon. Sun goes with a lot of Pokemon, and one of the other powerful things Sun is just like, oh, you have this powerful combo, I want to play with this powerful combo too. One of the more popular here in the late Series 8 teams is Dual Weather with Kyogre and Torkoal, and you get to play Venusaur on that team, and it smashes people, because if you lead for Sun and they bring Kyogre, you're kind of just done. So that's kind of the fun parts of Sun, is like you have to play around the Sun, and if they play towards the Sun and you don't bring the Sun and bring something else, you can usually get a leg up on your opponent. Looking over movesets, Venusaur's is usually locked in pretty good. Sleep Powder, Protect, Earth Power, Leaf Storm, Weather Ball, Sludge Bomb. Usually it's one of these 6 moves, and then sometimes you see other random moves here and there. Torkoal has a little bit more play to it. Torkoal can either be very specially like offensive, or you can be very bulky. The specially offensive sets are very reliant on getting Trick Room up and using Eruption to just deal massive damage, whereas the other sets are a little bit more defensively bulky, usually run max defense and body press and yawn, and are a little bit more supportive than the average Torkoal would be. Weather Ball versus Sledge Bomb was a big thing for Series 8, and I think it's going to carry over to Series 9. A lot of what Venusaur wants to be doing, especially if Sun is popular, is fighting the Sun Mirror. Weather Ball gives you a way for Venusaur to blow up opposing Venusaurs. It also helps you blow up Rillaboom and Glastrier and things like that. So I think Weather Ball is probably going to be the predominant fourth move for Venusaur moving on. And items for Venusaur it's gonna vary. Usually items for Torkoal are either Charcoal or Citrus Berry, but items for Venusaur can be Life Orb, Focus Sash, Weakness Policy, Wide Lens. There's a million of them. But a lot of the times you're going to see that Wide Lens or that Life Orb. Going over it with like Venu-koal as like a 2-mon core to put on a team, you kind of want to be able to use Trick Room because Torkoal's very slow, but you also want to have a fast mode because Venusaur can be very fast. Venusaur's max speed can get to 290 in the sun. I believe that's correct because it gets to 145 at 252 timid, meaning you can get to 290. And then min speed Torkoal gets to 20, which technically is slower than Glastrier, which is better. But you still don't OHKO all the Glastriers all the time, so keep that in mind. The large difference between speeds, though, means that your team can be very flexible in what it wants to do. You can either lean towards the fast mode, lean towards the slow mode, or kind of keep in that middle ground between the both of them and kind of just balance it. Another good Pokemon that pairs well with both these Pokemon is Whimsicott. Whimsicott notably can set Sunny Day and Tailwind, so if you want to be able to set up a Prankster Sunny Day or set up a Tailwind at priority 1, you can definitely do that with this team, and it will usually come up to your favor. I know it can be very helpful against opposing Venusaurs. If you need to like try to beat up an opposing Venusaur, but you don't want to set Sun and then end up losing to it, Whimsicott can definitely help with that. And remember to use Pokemon that aren't going to be hindered by Sun. Water types are probably not the best bring on your Venu-koal team. The one exception is usually Gastrodon for Series 9. Kyogre being able to change the weather is its own thing. Same with kind of like Politoed or Kingdra. It's not technically a water type, but can still do its thing outside of rain. But a lot of the times avoid water types. And you also can't freeze in sun, so keep that in mind. Beating the Venu-koal duo comes down to a lot just like controlling the weather, being able to set your own weather or negate the weather via Cloud9 or Airlock in the case of Series 8. It's super duper important. I know Durampa is currently trending in Series 8 because of its ability Cloud9 just being able to be an anti-sun Pokemon, and that goes a long way into helping it, helping you beat the sun matchup. Being flexible on your speed access is also important. If Venusaur is usually bad into your team, the Venusaur team usually switches to Trick Room because they normally run a Trick Room setter and Torkoal and things like that, and then use Torkoal to kind of clean up with Venusaur in the back. So be wary of that. Make sure that you are able to combat both sides of the speed tier. Prankster Taunt can help you beat the Sleep Powders, things like that. Grimmsnarl's very good. Anything with Fake Out's also good. The one thing about Fake Out and Taunt with this strategy is you have to watch out for the G-Max Venusaur just going big in front of you and Vine Lashing you. If they end up doing that, a lot of your momentum and power is just lost because they're not worried about Sleep Powdering you anyway. Ways to beat Torkoal if you don't have a water type: attack it on the special side. A neutral special hit is going to be more powerful than a physical resisted hit or physical neutral hit, just because of Torkoal's insane 140 base defense versus its like 75 special base defense. I believe that's correct. 70 to 75, somewhere in So to wrap it all up here for Venu-koal, it's a very powerful duo. It's very flexible, fits on a lot of teams, can be its own centralized core. Remember to either try to be faster than Venusaur with either priority or outspeeding it with like a Lecky. Stopping Trick Room for Torkoal. Speed is key for these teams, and if you can win the speed war, then you're going to be in a very good position. Also, weather wars. If you can control the weather, you get to control the game. Venusaur is very reliant on having that boost in speed. If you can get it to where Venusaur isn't in Sun anymore, you can usually outspeed it and take it down because it's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. And remember to be prepared for anything when facing this duo. They can still surprise you, like we talked about. Torkoal's sets kind of vary. Venusaur has about 6 different moves that it wants to run normally, but there's other moves in its arsenal that it can run. And same with Torkoal. So definitely be aware of that and keep an eye out for the weird stuff. With that being said, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me today. Make sure, again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for new videos go live. Comment down below who you want to see me cover next time. Make sure you come join the Discord. Discord links in the description. Find us on Twitter at LRLessons so you can tweet me about how I was wrong about Venu-koal, how I was wrong about this or that, or things you agreed upon. With that being said, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at in the world, and we will see you all on Friday. Bye, guys.